race car back in the day. Just use it as a little bullseye. Billet. Definitely twitchy bum. Hello, welcome back. Back at work today, back at Power Engineering. As you can see, my car has had to move ramps. We've had to make way for this, like a pro street angular that a guy wants to run on the road. So this used to be somebody's race car back in the day, someone Tebenham, I can't remember off the top of my head. Used to run, I think in the 8s, I'm sure my boss said, with a Cosworth engine, like proper back in the day when nobody messed with 4-cylinder turbo engines. So the car's got a bit of history, but yeah, it's been for a few owners since. Ended up with this big block Chevy in it. Engine was rebuilt and never really ran properly. So we've had it in here and kind of learnt that the cam timing was out. So yesterday we had the sump and the chain cover off, got the cam degreed in properly. Big comp cam, hydraulic roller cam, which is what you want for something like this. Flat tappets, I think they're good, but you know, they just don't last. The modern oils, they just don't cut it anymore. So yeah, we've got that. It's not quite fired up yet. Got to finish putting it back together. So what I'm actually here to do today is I have this stack of inlet manifolds. So we have my bad boy there, and we have these two, which is for customers. One's going on Chris Gibbs Mark III Fiesta Z-Tech Turbo. It's like 4,500 horsepower or something, and yeah, his old one just kept breaking under the pressure, so I'm going to make him a nice new dual plenum. These are fuel rails. I've also got a drill out today, so I'm going to be spending a lot of time at this drill here, and it's probably going to drive me slightly mental. So yeah, we've got one fuel rail, so I'm going for an 8 AM fuel rail on mine, because I'm just trying to over-spec it so that I've never got to change anything ever again. Another 8 AM fuel rail. This is actually going on my old inlet manifold for the guy that's bought it. And then we've got 2 fuel rails, which are for these. One more, which is for a conversion I'm doing on a HO inlet manifold. This one here is just the last bit of fuel rail I've got left, which I might just drill anyway, but we'll see if my sanity survives. So yeah, just a little update on the Escort. I haven't really done a lot since we last spoke, bar porting out the inlet, which I did actually just show you, but I might give you a bit of a better look. Yeah, I think last time you saw this was all welded. So I spent a couple of hours just porting it, smoothing it all in. Went up all the bottom as well. That's all nice. But yeah, you can kind of see where I've still got the penetration lines from running down the middle, but I'm going to leave them in because at the end of the day, they're strength. So I don't really want to grind them out. I'm sure it'd be fine without them. I'm sure it'd be fine with them. I don't think it's really going to matter. But yeah, let's just get the Escort down, show you what I have done, and yeah, we'll go from there. So yeah, obviously I've pulled the bumper off and the intercooler. I haven't had the rad out yet. I've been sort of playing around to work out if I can get 2 fans on the back here, or if I sort of mount the new rad pushed right in, if I can get an extra one on the front, or yeah, kind of like push it right out to mount one on the back. I'm not really sure yet, not really sure what I'm going to do. But yeah, I've got this extra little fan here. I might just build a big shroud, but really the biggest problem is, you can't really see it, if you get down here, this gap between the radiator and the wastegate actuator, that's the problem. So the other thing I have done, bar messing about with fans, is the other day, I pulled all of this out. I just stuck around everything, get all that off of there. So yeah, this, you can't tell, is all the light loom, the original fan loom, the original alternator wiring, and the original starter motor wires, which I sort of want to get rid of the best as possible. So I've got somebody coming down, a guy called Dan Watts. He's a local boy, pretty good at wiring genius, and I'm going to get some quotes on having the loom sort of like a semi-tuck, not like crazy Volkswagen scene show car tuck, but you know, so basically it all comes off of this strand here. So we'll run this into the inner wing, either run it through there or run it down through this hole here, get it into the inner arch, come up along the inside, come down here, we'll run some wires through there to go up to this headlight, and then we'll come through the front, cross member, back out again, go through the hole conveniently to come up for this headlight, redo the alternator wires and sort of the lights, cut everything else out of the loom we don't need. It's got the original fan stuff in there, we don't need any of that. We just need the lights, the horn, the alternator and the temperature for the dash. Everything else can go. There's not really a lot else in there, to be fair. After that, we'll sort of do all of this. Might try and tidy this up. I'm not really sure how to do it yet, but I'm not really too fussed about that, as long as, but I'm trying to achieve just like clear inner wings. I think that's quite like a good look, even if it's a little bit, there's got to be wires somewhere, so I'm not really too fussed. Like I said, I'm not going for like crazy show car, I'm just going for like nice, just nice. And then yeah, he's also going to quote on doing the loom for the Max ECU. I've been trying to convince myself to do it. I don't know, it's going to take, it's time I could spend doing other things. I'm not really geared up to do wiring looms, I'm not really that good at it. So maybe it might be better off just paying him to do it. It'd be done quicker. And it will get back on the road quicker, but we'll see. We'll see what he says when he comes down. I've got everything to show him, and we'll just go from there, really. Billet. So to help me set up and keep everything level, I've got one of these. These I find are brilliant. I use them all the time. Just help keep stuff level. I've got one that's stuck to a magnet, like glued on, epoxied on, which I stick on a tap and die set. So I sort of like, if I'm trying to tap something, I'll stick it on, make sure it's level. Obviously this isn't, like level it all up, and then you can stick it to your tool when you're trying to tap. Just use it as a little bullseye. You can hold it all level, keep the holes nice and straight. So good. First things first, make sure pillar drill's level. Second, make sure that the platform is level, which is. I spent a long time leveling this up. It may look like a mess, but there's all bits in the right place. So yeah, next thing, the bolt on this angle plate. I borrowed off Carlo because I bought my own one, just for size reference. As you can see, I bought the wrong one. So yeah, I'm still trying to look for this little one, and if I ever find a little one, I want to give this one to Carlo because he's been really good to me over the years. And yeah, if you ever need anything machined, Carlo, Varley and Sons, he's over the road from us. He's proper old school machinist, does everything manually. He can make almost anything. And like I said, he's always helped me out. He's done loads of stuff for me. He's lent me loads of tools. He's given me all advice when I've got a lathe and when I'm trying to drill stuff on this pillar drill, which isn't a milling machine. And yeah, he's just like super all round nice guy. Let's get set up. So when it comes to drilling these, mount it to this plate here. So when the drill bit comes through, it's got these recesses to sit down into. It doesn't end up chewing up the plate or anything like that. And then yeah, that will mount up to the angle plate. I've also got this here. This is my Ross Machine Racing injector boss drill bit. You can kind of see if the camera focuses on it. It drills everything, cuts the seat, puts a radius on so you can get the actual injector in the hole nicely. Yeah, it's a real nice bit of kit. So here we are, all set up. Sort of, well, I haven't bolted this down yet, but yeah, you can see he's in my little level. Not that it's really focusing it well, but yeah, so that's all bolted up, leveled up, clamp it down, drill some holes, make some swarf. So we are actually already set up, bolted down, clamped, leveled, drills in the right place, all ready to go. I'm gonna be here for a while. It's gonna be pretty much all day. On another note, Dan popped in, he's Dan Watts Automotive on Instagram. And yeah, he's going to sort out the light loom. So we've discussed it. He's going to run it all through the chassis leg, come up, all the lights at the front. It's all going to be really nice. Yeah, he's going to hopefully come down next week and do that. Here we have the first one. Only another 11 left.
A few moments later.
So here's the finished result. You can see why I weld these first and then drill them afterwards, because there's not a lot of room to weld there if not. Let's go on the inside. Obviously need cleaning up, just kind of like tidy up them a little bit, get rid of sharp edges and stuff. So yeah, next one's all loaded up, ready to go. There's the second one done. This one's a black top, as opposed to the other one being ST170. The bosses come out slightly higher in these. And my one's on the stand, ready to go. I had to take one of the arms out of the pillar drill because it was hitting the plenum, or plenum base. But I sort of anticipated that that would happen. I did actually check to make sure this would fit in before I welded it all up as well. Yeah, here we go. So here's the final result. Now for some reason you might notice that these holes are actually in a slightly different place to these ones. For some reason they were marked up, pilot drilled slightly different. Just getting there as well. So yeah, they're a little bit high in the port. Luckily it's on my own car and not a customer's, so I can sort of just, I'll very quickly just stuff all the ports with tissue. Just be very carefully, just nick the top with the die grinder, and that'll all clear fine. So yeah, just sort of, as you can see, it sort of went around the top of them as well, just to sort of de-shroud the injector, make sure they get a good spray pattern, nothing's affected. Now, when I make these inlets, I've figured out a pretty good way of keeping them fairly straight and stop them from warping too much, but they do always warp just a little bit. So luckily I've figured out an even better way to actually straighten them back up. So this is the nervous time. This is prop up either end, press down in the middle, just keep an eye on everything. Just sort of, as you can see, you know, the inlet is complete-ish. And yeah, you just have to be very gentle, just kind of like press it down a little bit. I mean, we're only talking like, it's only kind of like 2 mil out either end, but, well, I say that, a lot more like a millimetre either end. So just a very slight bow, but you know, you don't want to bolt that up, it's just extra stresses. So just straighten them out now like this, and then when the plenum comes on, again, bolt it down for that, holds it all nice. Definitely twitchy bum when you're trying to press down on something that you don't want to bust into 1,000 pieces. So yeah, here it is. We've got this little flat edge. Just got on there, as you can see, there's probably a, you know, a barely measurable amount either end of bow. But I mean, gaskets and bolts take all that out. Same with to do this one as well. This one was the same, just ever so slightly. Yeah, just ease them back into place. That's me done for the day, I think.